Hi everyone, thanks so much for being here. My name is Kat and I make houseplant videos here on Good and Planty. If you just happen to absolutely love this video, please consider liking it, commenting, subscribing, or following me on Instagram. All of these things help me grow my channel like a plant. All right, today we are back with my unnamed series that I have half abandoned and am now returning to, which is where I look at Architectural Digest open door videos and take a look at what houseplants are in celebrity homes. Today, we are going to be spending some time with Seth Rogen, so I feel like he's a polarizing actor slash comedian. You either love him or you hate him. If you hate him, I'm sorry, but I hope you still watch my video today. We're taking a look at Seth Rogen's video with Architectural Digest where they look at his houseplant headquarters. Houseplant is his, and home goods company that he founded with a partner. I am assuming that we will be seeing tons of houseplants in there. I hope I am not incorrect, otherwise this video will be pointless. We're just gonna jump into it, but first I have two quick disclaimers that I like to put in these videos. One, very oftentimes these houses and office spaces are staged for these videos. The condition of the houseplants are not really realistic. They're gonna look way more perfect than they would if Seth Rogen probably actually took care of them. B, if I mislabel a plant or something like that, please just gently correct me in the comment section down below. I am looking at like very blurry stills from a video, so I'm doing my best, okay? Let's jump into the houseplant headquarters with Seth Rogen.
Hello, AD. I'm Seth Rogen. Welcome to Houseplant.
This is giving me those companies that will have like a dog-friendly office with a ping pong table, but then not give you health insurance or proper pay. I'm not saying that's what's going on with Seth Rogen here, but that's the vibe it's giving me.
Da-da-da. Welcome to the inside of the houseplant house.
All right, we are at our first houseplant stop. So in this little entryway next to the Welcome to Houseplant sign, we have a Dracaena Janet Craig, which I think looks great. I love the ones that have variety in height. So we have some taller ones in the back, some shorter ones in the front. And then a little bit to the right, we have a Burgundy Tree. That looks like it's in good placement. There's plenty of windows over there to the right of this frame. On top of that, I will also add that they are in California, which has a lot more natural daylight throughout the day compared to me over here in Philly. So sometimes when I'm giving this sort of criticism, I forget that we are looking at a very different environment than the ones that I am used to. I would say that although Burgundy trees like to have a pretty high amount of light, I think that she would be fairly happy in this location, and hopefully she's in a nursery pot in there, in that little ceramic pot, because they do like to dry out between waterings. I think just planting her directly in the ceramic pot would be a little bit too much, but again, all of these plants are probably staged, so it doesn't even matter.
I'll be honest, we did not set out to base houseplant out of a house, which is, as I say it, it was something you would assume we would have wanted from the get-go.
Okay, then looking over by the TV, I believe that that is another Dracaena Janet Craig. That one looks a little bit more filled out, but again, I like that we have variety in height, so there's little different pom-poms at each level. There are some Dracaena, Santavaria, Laurentii, which are the snake plants with the yellow variegation on the edge. I like that there are two and they have a little bit of different heights and are in similar pots, but are kind of, again, playing with height. I really like the way they did that. The placement of these plants look pretty good to me. They all look like they're getting a good natural sunlight throughout the day. I would like to see what it looks like by that window and to know what direction it's facing and if there is perhaps a big tree shading it. All of those factors are a little bit hard for me to extrapolate from this frame, but I would say it looks like the plants are in a good place and all look pretty happy. Throwback to Vanessa Hudgens. Sad plants. That poor Monstera.
We created a weed and home goods company called Houseplant, and we needed somewhere to base our operations out of. Kind of like a workspace for for people to come hang out. We talk about our products a lot. A lot of our products are home goods, so we found to be able to like see them in a home type setting was invaluable.
Okay, moving on, I see what I believe is an elephant ear plant. Again, I want to jump to criticizing having this plant indoors because I'm so used to being on the East Coast and those plant choices not working very well. However, when I'm thinking about California and the types of environments around there, I think that you can have an elephant ear in your home. It does look like this particular plant is a little bit thirsty, so this is the first plant care flag that I am seeing. She's a bit droopy towards the bottom leaves. That is usually a sign of a dehydrated plant. So if I were Seth Rogan, I would add a little bit of water to this pot.
As someone who, you know, smokes weed all day, every day, and has a home that they like to reflect their sensibilities and who they are and their tastes, I found myself really struggling to furnish my home in a way that complemented the fact that I smoke weed all day, every day.
Okay, one thing I will point out here is that I am now seeing a closer look at the Janet Craig, the Dracaena Janet Craig, and they have that decorative fake moss up top. Usually, that's not a good thing. It's gonna retain a lot of moisture in the soil. Also, I'm not saying that it's necessarily bad soil under there, but usually if I'm buying a plant and it has this decorative fake moss up top, the soil underneath is not high quality. I don't feel like whoever potted this plant necessarily knew what they were doing. That could be a bold statement. I don't know who staged these plants, but seeing that moss makes me feel like these plants are definitely staged and might be a little bit unhappy if given some more time in there.
This is a vase I made. I do ceramics as well. I've been making these gloopy glazes for a long time. That was like a really early example of them. And we've been trying to find a way to produce at some sort of scale a gloopy glazed ashtray.
That's actually so beautiful. I would love a pot like that, like a cash po like that. Whew.
Beyonce took a picture with this. It was a very thrilling moment for all of us at Houseplant.
The laugh.
Our conference room.
Okay, over here on this desk, I see a tiny Dracaena Janet Craig. They're really feeling the Janet Craigs in this house, but I'll give some more general thoughts on these plants towards the end of the video.
This though, if you want to talk vintage ashtrays.
Also in the conference room is a ZZ plant. That ZZ plant honestly looks like it's thriving because it probably gets a lot more natural light than a lot of other ZZ plants we see online. They are so branded as low light tolerant plants that we don't really get to see them thrive as much. I'm sure, again, the ZZ plant was staged and purchased at a really happy place, but seeing it get the sunlight it deserves is really exciting and it looks fabulous, honestly.
This is one of the best vintage ashtrays. Walter Bossy? I'm not. It's one of those things I've never heard someone say it. Not a word being said a lot, but B-O-S-S-E, the guy who made this ashtray. It's a stacking hedgehog ashtray. And it's perfect if you're having like a dinner party or something like that, and there's a bunch of people smoking weed, and they're absolutely adorable.
Okay, I'm very much not paying attention a lot to like the smoking aspect of this video, but that's sick.
We spent an insanely large amount of time on our packaging, making sure it's a nice experience.
Over here, where he's talking about packaging, we can see a lovely pothos hanging in the background. They're very simple plants. I think I see a few more plants coming up, which is very exciting.
These are just some more offices. This is more example of our packaging.
Okay, in these other offices, we have a pretty large Schefflera arboricola, which is looking great. Probably super happy to be by that window. I think that the placement is a little bit awkward because it's right between two chairs, so I'm not sure how comfortable that is for the functionality of the room. The plant is really liking it. Again, it could be staged, but it looks great. Very tall. Sometimes they get a little bit more shrubby. I really do like the look of that specific Schefflera arboricola. And once again, we have a Dracaena Janet Craig on the table. They are really, really loving this plant.
This is a workshop. This is a very old work table. Those chairs I actually think are from the movie This Is the End. Those green ones, we stole those from the set of that film. I stole a lot of the furniture from the set of that movie and shipped it from New Orleans back to Los Angeles and furnished our office and homes with it.
Now we are in the workshop room where I can see another Schefflera arboricola in the back. And then also in the other corner, I see a Pisili, which I'm actually surprised about because one of the things I wanted to talk about towards the end of the video is the way that all of these plants have one thing in common, and that is that they are very easy care and are fairly flexible, but do enjoy higher light. In terms of plant selection, I think whoever styled and staged this office did a really good job at kind of being realistic as to what plants would work well in an office space. And usually those are plants that are very low maintenance because at the end of the day, people are showing up to work. They are not showing up to water plants. I am just surprised that they threw a Pisili in the mix. They probably wanted a little bit of like textural variety, so they went for a Pisili, which is a very common office plant. However, I think a lot of people forget that they like to be watered very frequently or semi-frequently. I think that one was a misstep, but all of the other ones make sense in an office. Oh, I think they threw in a little lipstick plant.
Thank you, AD, for visiting Houseplant. It was lovely to have you, and thank you at home for coming and visiting my office, which I'm sure is not like a thing that you were hoping to do, but hopefully you enjoyed it nonetheless. Wonder what Seth Rogen's office is like. Well, now you know. Thanks for coming. Enjoy your days.
Okay, well, that was the end of the Architectural Digest video. I kind of gave my general thoughts on these houseplants in terms of how I think they stack up as office plants, but I do have a criticism, and I will say this is gonna be snarky houseplant person commentary. I was hoping that with a company name like Houseplant and you're incorporating houseplants into your office that you would talk a little bit about houseplants, but obviously it's in reference to cannabis. And nobody cares about houseplants as much as some of us, so it's okay. I think it would have been really cool if there were some more novelty, rare plants in there. Houseplants can sometimes be really underestimated in terms of what they can bring to a creative workspace. I think they can be very inspiring and relaxing and all that stuff. At the end of the day, I can fully recognize that everyone is a houseplant person. Some people are people and some people are houseplant people and some people are both, and that's okay. But selfishly, I do wish they went into some of the houseplants a little bit more, and I wish that Seth Rogen made cover pots. I think that would be sick. With all that being said, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you don't already want to see more Planty content from me. Hit that notification bell, that like button, all that good stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!